Good evening. Welcome to the Business Computing Show. I'm Nancy Ford, president of the Memphis chapter of BDPA, and I'll be your host this evening. My guest this evening is Jalona Edwards, and she is the coordinator of the HSCC program for BDPA. Welcome, Jalona.
Thank you for having me, Nancy. I'm great.
Good. Jalona, for those who may not have heard of BDPA, would you tell us a little bit about it? What's BDPA about?
Sure. BDPA is a professional networking organization focused on African Americans in information technology, although membership is open to all nationalities. We were founded in 1975 by two individuals who wanted to gather together their peers and their colleagues. We have currently over 60 chapters across the United States, and our motto is facilitating professional growth from the classroom to the boardroom. Oh. And that's what we focus on, starting with children in high school.
Oh, good. That's really interesting. Does the group meet any place or at any time?
Yes, we meet every second Tuesday of the month. We generally meet at the FedEx World Headquarters on Hacks Cross Road. If you want more information about our meetings, you can go to the website, which is www.bdpamemphis.org.
Oh, okay, very good. Now, you said that the organization focuses on programs that are designed to facilitate professional growth from the classroom to the boardroom. Can you tell us a little bit about any of those programs? Do you have any idea about any of them?
I do. One of those flagship programs is called the High School Computer Camp, and it's a community service program of BDPA that teaches middle school and high school students the basics of web programming. We want to focus on the kids being more than computer literate. So they learn entry-level web development and back-end programming such as HTML, Java, JavaScript, more advanced techniques like ASP and PHP.
That sounds very interesting. So what is the history behind HSCC? How did it come about? Do you know anything about that?
Yes. HSCC Memphis has been in existence for about 10 years. As the internet grew in popularity and as technology is more integrated into every profession, we wanted to make sure that we reached our children at a very young age, middle school to high school, so that they are more than computer literate once they get to college, or if they don't decide to go the college route, when they get their first jobs, they have a bit of a leg up on other students who may be working.
Okay. How long have you been HSCC coordinator, and how did you get involved with it? What attracted you to the program?
Well, I became a member of BDPA as I graduated college in 2000, and I was looking for an organization that would allow me to network and make contacts in IT. And as I volunteered and contributed more of my time to the organization, HSCC became attractive because I love working with children, and I was attracted to the fact that not only were they learning how to surf the internet and how to, well, not download music at that time, but they learned how to build web pages, and that is a very valuable, very marketable, and transitional skill that they can use as soon as they graduate high school.
What web design, web development being a marketable skill, what is the average income of an experienced web developer? Well, when I say experienced, I mean maybe 3 to 5 years.
In Memphis, I would say the average salary is about $55,000, and that's simply with a bachelor's degree and just a few years of experience under your belt. More experience brings you into the upper 80,000s and even 6 figures once you get maybe a certification, web development or webmaster certification. So it's very good money. We had a student actually that as he graduated high school, he'd been in the program for about 5 years, and he was so knowledgeable and could create such dynamic web pages that he was offered a job at a local shipping company for $50,000, and he was an 18-year-old kid.
And this was before college?
Before college.
So this is a very, very valuable skill that the organization is teaching. How many students do you normally accept into the program?
Well, we generally train upwards of 30 to 40 students. We start out with about 30 to 40 students, and as our courses progress, we generally end up training for the competition which our classes accumulate. They accumulate to a competition, and we generally send about 10 kids to that competition. So the course of the program is formatted to fit about 40 students.
Oh, okay. That sounds very interesting. Very good. Now, I'm asking these questions. Of course, some of them I know the answer to because I am, of course, a member of BDPA. But I know that you're just bursting at the seams to tell us what's so special about the Memphis HSCC program.
Well, you're right. I am bursting at the seams to tell you that. Like I said, the classes that we provide for the children teach them very, very intricate and valuable web development skills. The classes generally run for about 6 months. And what's great about that is at the end of the classes, our students compete against one another to go to a national competition. At that point, it's no longer HSCC, the high school computer camp, it's the high school computer competition. They compete against other HSCC programs sponsored by local BDPA chapters across the United States. And in the year 2004, our team had won its 5th national title. And this isn't just a small feat. They are tested on their knowledge of computer literacy, computing history, BDPA history. They also have to take a verbal exam on their knowledge of computing, and the biggest part of the program is the programming competition. They have had to build websites that would mimic something like a Blockbuster online or a Netflix, where they have to set up shopping carts, they have to provide e-commerce, and our students took home the title for the 5th time in 2004.
And I understand that there's another distinction that the Memphis chapter has as well, being the only chapter that has...
Right, we were the only chapter to ever have more than 3 consecutive titles. So us taking it home in 2004 was history that has not been repeated since.
That's right, and people are trying to repeat that.
Oh, yes.
But a couple of them have done a repeat, but no one has done a three-peat, I don't believe, and no one has ever done 4 consecutive titles. Now that really speaks to the quality of this program. You know, what the program is teaching and what these children are learning.
Yes.
But you know, sometimes you can be very, very talented and you can have the skills to do the job, but you can't get past the interview. Does the program do anything to address that?
Yes, we do.
What is that?
In addition to teaching web development and back-end programming skills, we generally have several sessions that speak to the importance of looking your best and actually passing and going through the interview for your job after you graduate college. We've even gone to the lengths of having professionals come in, give mock interviews, give testimonies. Other students that have gone through the program give testimonies on the interviewing skills that they've learned. So we kind of have a career day where we have professionals come in and teach the children how to interview their best.
So if someone wanted to know more about this program, how would they find out?
They can go to the website, which is www.bdpamemphis.org.
Okay.
And once they get to the website, there's tons of information about the organization, and there's also a link to the HSCC 2008 program. They can reach me at the email address of coordinator@bdpamemphis.org.
Okay. And I think parents would be really anxious to sign their children up. Once they sign their children up, what can they expect? What can they expect their children to learn or to take away from this program?
Well, first and foremost, parents can expect their children to be in a safe environment, and I think in today's age, that's of the utmost importance. So children are absolutely safe. They can expect their child to walk away with a sense of accomplishment. They can definitely expect their child to walk away with some very marketable skills. And we teach very basic principles about dedication and follow through, and actually basically doing what you say you'll do. So in addition to learning skills that you can use on the job, these are life skills that children are learning. They're interacting with other kids of other nationalities, of other ages and other backgrounds, so they're learning some very valuable coping skills as well.
Well, that's very interesting. Now, what do you expect from the parents? When the parent signs their child up, are there expectations of the parent, or can the parent just drop their kid off and go off and forget about them?
Well, no, we don't want that. We also don't want to make it a burden on the parent. We love parent volunteers. We love to have parents come in, and that's actually a really good point that you made about expecting from parents. We generally expect them to volunteer, but we've had over the years several parents that have come in and sat in on the class and have learned exactly what their student is learning. So it's a great experience for them as well.
Yes, and sometimes I've spoken with parents who say that they would like to learn these skills and they may not have children. But I say, well, you know, you can come in and volunteer, and if you're in the classroom, then you will learn what the children are learning.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of volunteering, are there other opportunities for the community to be involved?
Oh, yes. We thrive on our volunteers. Without our volunteers, our program would not exist. All of our volunteers are just wonderful people, and the areas of need are instruction. We need volunteers to instruct. So if you're an IT professional and you have a few extra hours per week that you'd like to donate to a very good cause, we definitely need instructors. We need parent volunteers. We also need volunteers just to come in and kind of chaperone the class and make sure that everybody's kind of, doing what they're supposed to do. We generally like to feed our children, because they learn their best when they're, not hungry. So we have lunch coordinators. They go out and they solicit funds so that our kids can eat. We also have people that will actually cook lunch for us and bring it to our facility. We also need volunteers that simply write a check, that donate money. We always would love to have that.
So there are opportunities for corporate sponsorship as well?
Yes.
And corporate sponsorship, once a person, or a business rather, decides to become a corporate sponsor, what kinds of benefits can they expect?
Well, number one, they are affiliated with a great organization, and from that affiliation, they really have the pick of the best people, the best pool for potential employees. And they also get the opportunity to sit in on our classes. They get to advertise, if they'd like, to the parents and to the students. And they just get to really associate their name with a very good cause.
And what about a web presence, on our site, on the national site?
Yes, they are advertised on our website as a gold, platinum, or silver sponsor, or just a regular sponsor.
And with the organization being so large, what about exposure to the rest of the organization, like maybe at national conference or something like that?
Mm-hmm. They can most definitely have a presence there if they would like to extend their sponsorship simply from our local chapter to our national chapter. They have the opportunity to sponsor certain events at our national conference. And the great thing about our national conference is that you have some of the best IT employees, well over 5,000, that congregate every year to learn about what great companies have to offer.
And what level of IT professionals can we expect to see at the national conference?
You can expect to see everything from a CIO to an entry-level help desk person, and everything in between.
And with the team having gone to the conference and won the championship 5 times, you've been to the conference, is that correct?
Yes, I have.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what happens at the conference, some of the things that you experienced at the conference, so that if we have corporations out there who may be interested in this, because sometimes the corporations think that you're asking for a handout or a donation, but this really isn't a handout or a donation. This is an investment.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you explain a little bit about how investing in BDPA will benefit a corporation?
Well, like I said, simply the affiliation with an organization like BDPA simply strengthens your community presence. And at the conference, it's loads of fun. It's really a lot of fun. You meet so many different professionals across the United States, and my favorite part of it is that you get to network. You get to find out what other companies in your area of commerce, what they're doing. And one of the great parts about the conference that I enjoy is the vendor hall. Our vendors come out and they sometimes sponsor certain events at the conference, but they really put their best foot forward in showing you the newest products, the newest software, testing versions. You get so many different opportunities to just see what's on the horizon and what's coming down the pipe in IT.
Okay, and you know, many corporations have diversity initiatives. And what about opportunities to recruit at the conference?
There is, I think, the #1 benefit for a company to sponsor at the national convention, because you have such a wide variety of professionalism there. You are exposed to people who are looking for jobs, people who may be looking to contract with your company, people who may be looking to relocate. The conference is held in a different place across the country every year, so you have people that come from the other side to come out. And I know several people who have connected with a recruiter from that company, or a company who's connected with a job seeker, and they've moved to that company within 3 months after going to the conference.
My understanding is that a platinum sponsor is a sponsor that has given $100,000 plus in a calendar year to the organization, and that Microsoft as well as State Farm are platinum sponsors. Mm-hmm. Do you know of any other platinum or gold level sponsors, large companies that sponsor BDPA?
Well, yes, Merck & Company is one that has sponsored the conference several years running, and we have several recruiting firms that have sponsored, as well as some universities that have partnered with us. Auburn University is one that has partnered with BDPA to offer courses and certifications, different levels of certifications for IT professionals.
Okay. In terms of opportunities for community involvement, in addition to teachers and people to help with lunch, are there other things that the community can help with?
Yes, they can help me coordinate the program.
So you're looking for a team?
Yes, I'm looking for a team. We need people who are in public relations. We need people who love to just talk to other people, that are able to get the word out about the program. We also need someone to manage the donations as they come in. And we also need someone to help coordinate the students once they get signed up, to follow up. We do assign homework on occasion, so we do need a team to facilitate the program.
Okay, and you say that you like about 40 students in a class. Mm-hmm. How large is the competition team?
The competition team consists of 6 students and generally 1 or 2 alternates.
So how do you get from the 40 to the 8?
Well, because the program lasts 6 months, attrition is natural, and that's going to happen because school is out. Some students have jobs, some are going to go on vacation, some parents are going to, pull their students out to do work around the house. So just from that, we generally whittle down to about 25 students by the time May or June comes along. But the students we have remaining are geared toward being on the competition team. There is a series of tests, a series of exams, a series of website development that happens over the period of about a month. And from that, we get a general idea of who our strongest candidates would be for the competition team. And once it gets down to about 2 to 3 weeks out from the competition, we have a competition of our own, which mimics the format of the national competition, and the top 7 performers in that competition are whisked away to the competition, national competition.
And what happens to the rest of the students?
Well, the rest of the students, I would love for the rest of the students to come along with us. We need that support. A lot of times we have money left over from our donations that we can pay for housing, we can pay for plane fare, and also the conference fees for the students that aren't on the competition team. And they have just as much fun. They have a lot of programs and a lot of seminars geared toward the youth.
Oh, the Youth Technology Camp. Then.
Yes, yes.
So do you know anything about the Youth Technology Camp that they have at the National Conference?
Yes, the Youth Technology Camp is centered around the HSCC, the competition. The Youth Technology Camp focuses on driving home the skills and the lessons that students learn throughout the year in their HSCC program. Mm-hmm. They even have an exhibit where students can display T-shirt design, graphic design skills. There are also other competitions outside of HSCC where students can compete in other areas.
So this is a serious program.
Oh yes, oh yes.
What are some of the things that a student gets if they win the competition, or when they win the competition? What do they walk away with?
Money, money, money.
Money?
Money.
Just money to put in their pockets?
No, money for college.
Ah.
Money for college. They walk away with thousands of dollars in scholarships. The amount generally increases every year, and I believe in years past, the winning team, each member of that winning team has won at least a $5,000 scholarship.
Well, that's a significant help, I would think.
Oh, yes.
And I understand they also get some kind of a little gadget, usually.
Right. They get
donated
a gadget.
by a major corporation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Think iPod, think iPhone, think MP3 players, all the little things that they like to tinker with.
Yes, I think they got laptops this year.
Yes, even greater. They got laptops.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So those are some really interesting things. And you said that sometimes funds can stand in between the students going to the competition or not, especially the students who are not on the competition team. So is it possible that a sponsor could step in and sponsor the student?
Absolutely. We would love to have a sponsor to just say, hey, we want to see these children do well, and we want to see them get to the competition without worrying about coming out of their pocket for funds. And
if a person wants to sponsor them, how could they get information on sponsoring a student?
They can contact me on the BDPA website, which is www.bdpamemphis.org, or they can email me at coordinator@bdpamemphis.org.
And when will signups begin? I know that the parents out there now are very excited about this. They want to sign their kids up. So when and where and how can they sign their children up for this program?
Registration will begin in November of 2007, so in a very short months, couple months, registration will begin, and classes will officially begin in February of 2008.
Well, that sounds very interesting, very exciting.
And let me mention that we generally have hundreds of students that are interested in the program and that get signed up, and we generally have to do some type of interview, but we do like to do it on a first come first served basis, so it's beneficial to go ahead and get signed up in November.
Is there a fee associated with the program?
There's a nominal fee that covers the cost of books, and students are signed up to be BDPA members. It's a very nominal fee.
And if someone wants to know what that fee is?
They can simply contact me. My phone number is, I think, displayed on the screen, but it's 901-277-2786, or they can go to the website, bdpamemphis.org.
Well, this is a very, very interesting and exciting program. Maybe we'll have you back sometime in the future. Maybe we can find one of your students or former students to talk with so we can get the students' perspective on the program.
Yes.
But in the meantime, when we think about the time span, signing the students up, and all that goes into organizing the program, you're looking for, let's see if we can recap some of the things that you may need and see if I can remember some of them. Community involvement, which could include volunteers, which would be all of you out there. Corporate sponsorships, individual sponsorships. And is this a for-profit organization, or would this be a tax write-off?
It's a tax write-off. It's a tax write-off. We are a 501c3 corporation.
So a person who wants to just donate something, they're not only helping the community, but they're also helping themselves by easing their own tax burdens.
Yes.
What is the age limit for these students? What ages are generally accepted?
Well, we generally accept 7th graders through 12th graders. If your student is 17 at the time that they enter the program and they turn 18 during the course of the program, that's allowable, but the age cap is 17, or 7th through the 12th grade.
And is it possible for a student, say there's a student in 6th grade, but the student is very disciplined and, fairly intelligent, is it possible that that student would be considered?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, the last program we had a 6th grader that was, as you mentioned, very astute, very dedicated, and he was actually one of the best performers in the class. So if the student has not made it to 7th grade yet, just let us know that and we'll work with that student. Okay,
so back to some of the things that are needed. What did I leave out?
Did you mention donations?
Donations. So you need financial support.
We need financial support.
You need human bodies to support.
Yes.
And that sounds like a winning situation.
Yes. We're very excited about the 2008 program.
And you're looking forward to going to the conference. And the conference is when now? How long is the program again, and when is the conference?
The program runs from February to August. It's broken up into sessions, so it's not a continuous meeting from February to August. And the conference is generally the first week in August.
Okay. Well, I've really enjoyed talking with you, Jalona, and I'm very excited about the 2008 HSCC program. Thank you for being my guest.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank all of you for viewing the Business Computing Show. I am Nancy Ford, President of Memphis Chapter of BDPA, and I am your host.
Switch to Comcast Digital Phone Service. There's no new equipment to buy. You can keep your phone number, even plug into the same wall jack. Your calls are crystal clear, and you get great features like caller ID, voicemail, call waiting, and unlimited local and long-distance calls in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. So while the number at the top of your bill doesn't change, this one certainly will. The same great features at a better price. Comcast Digital Phone Service.
John, we have the new high speed. It's way faster than DSL. Show 'em. It's a pagoda.
Tell me you have more.